Let's start with the PollCreate component. What this component will be responsible for is to create the poll. That means it will be handling the form data, and it will be also handling the input and converting it to the format which we need, so then we can send it to the blockchain. In order to fastly generate the component, we can use the Angular CLI, where we can use the ng-generate command with the type set to component and the name of our component, which we will call PollCreate. This will create a new folder called PollCreate, and inside we can see the HTML, the style sheet, the test, and the TypeScript file. We can delete the test as we don't need that. What this command does also under the hood is to edit to the declarations of our app module, as we can see here. And in our TypeScript file, it also points to correct style sheet and the correct HTML. So basically we can just use the selector and use it in our app component. Let's say just right here to see if it works. It's underlined, so it's a bit confused, but if we go back, we can see that the component is actually working. I think it's the Visual Studio a bit confused, so if you restart it, it should be fine, all good. So what we can do now is to mock up some form template, so the user would be able to input their poll data which we require. Let's start by defining the form, and let's give it some styling of container and column of size 4. And again, you don't need to worry much about these classes. These are bootstrap classes, and we use them just to quickly give it some styles, so it's not pain to look at our HTML, but you don't need to worry about them much, as it's purely just styling and it has nothing to do with Angular or blockchain. It's purely just styling. Then inside we are going to create a div, which will be of class form group, and it will be in a row where we'll have the label, which will be our text, with class column of size 2, column form label, and column form label small. And we give it a name called question. This will be the label with the question, and we also need some input for that. This will be of type text. The class will be form control and form control small. This means it will make our input a bit smaller. And we can also give it a placeholder, which means poll question. So let's save and let's go take a look how it looks like. So it's not in one line, so we have to wrap the input inside a div, just like so, and give it some width, which will be so SM8. Let's go take a look, and this is much better, so it's getting some shape. So what we'll require from the user is the poll question, is the thumbnail if they want to, and it's the options, the poll options which you can choose from. So let's quickly mock up these. So we can basically copy paste this one more time, which will be for the thumbnail. We can call it image, type text, yes, and the placeholder URL to image. Then we can copy paste this as many times as we want to have options in our poll. Let's say we will only allow 3 options in our poll. Of course, this can be then modified to have more options, but for now we just stick with 3 options. So one more time, second and third. We save it and let's take a look how it looks like. It looks quite nice. So what we are going to do, we are going to call this as option and remove these 2. So we can input 1, 2, 3 options, and then we need also submit button. So let's go now and change this to options. Let's remove this text. We still need to keep the label, so it will have the width. Also this one, save, and then in the end we are going to add submit button, which we can call create a poll. For the last submit button, we'll create a div, which will be displayed as a flex, and we'll center the button. So justify content center, and inside we'll insert the button, which in this case will be of type submit. That means when we'll submit the form, we can do it with the enter. And the class, it will be button small one with the color of button secondary, and we can write here submit poll just like this. Let's go check it out, and I think it looks quite nice. We need to also change the placeholders for these 3, so we go ahead and change it to option 1 and then copy paste it for also other ones, just like so. Let's take a look, and great, I think we have very nice form for submitting. What we'll do next is to create the logic for getting the input and submitting the form. For this we use Angular reactive forms. I will try to again keep it as simple as possible.